Pulling a Tech 9 off the fucking creamsicle tech, please.
What a great way to start the pod. We are back. We are back from international break after the UEFA Champions League completed in terms of match day 3 today. Welcome to Kicking It With the Brothers. Your host, Mike Lofton, with my boys, my co-host, my man Charles. How are you, good sir?
We getting through, man. Furman Lopez show today got us right.
Young boys. Is he 20? He's not one of your teenagers, right?
He's 20.
He's 20.
He's 20. He's
He
20.
can drink. He can drink in Canada.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to Windsor Cheetahs. And shout out to our man X. We get him once a month. So when we have him, like, we're excited to have him. He's geared for a good time, not a long time. So let's make sure we quick and snappy with the show today. X, how you feeling, brother?
Good, man. Feeling good. That's good.
All right. Let's get to it. Right to it. Yeah, since we got X, why the heck did we not start with him? I'm here for all the soliloquies. I'm here for all the X gospel. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, X. And then there's X. Anytime X is going to talk about football, now as a new supporter, he brings gospel always to the group here. So, fellas, let's start. X, your assessment on being a supporter of a team in your first go around with the Champions League. What do you like about the Champions League? Much different than Thursday nights in Bowden in the Europa League, or going to a random?
No, for sure.
Yeah.
I love the intensity of the games. I underestimated how important squad depth was, right? Because when I say, City got to play twice a week, and that makes a difference. Like, it really does. And so, like, you have to gauge, like, are you gonna prioritize Prem, or are you gonna prioritize Champions League? So, yeah, I just realized that you need to have a lot of quality players if you want to be able to compete on two fronts. So now I'm seeing how important that is. But yeah, other than that, I love it.
What don't you like, X?
There's not to like so far. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I mean, it's a congested schedule, but if you want to be an elite club, then you have to be prepared to invest to be able to compete on an elite level. So I can't say that I don't like it, but it just, you got to pick and choose. So that just comes with the territory.
Love that, brother. Love that. Are you happy with where Arsenal is right now? Or you?
I am now, after we got the win. I think we would have been in trouble had we drew or possibly lost that game. But now we're back in the driver's seat, so we should be all right.
Agree with that. Charles, let's go to you, brother. Top 3 things you like halfway through UEFA Champions League. And then let's get into what you have not liked. And also congratulations, top of the group, fellow member, top of the group.
But you are not a member of the teams with 9 points crew, unless you want to flip-flop in between your squads right now. Okay. So one of the things I like, the big dogs are showing up. The big clubs with 9 points, 3 up, 3 down. Really liking that. Just the general fact that it seems like Barcelona is the only team in the world with academy players. Apparently, Arsenal.
All right, bro. I know what you refer to in terms of the tweet. Relax.
I'm just saying, like, we got a lot of academy players. I just know you guys got to buy your players, and we just literally just be finding players. Even though Mark Gui is not a random player, like he was the leading scorer at the U17 Euros this year, so like, he's not some random guy we got off the scrap heap. And the group of death is like, it's not really a group of death, but it is a group of felonies. I don't think you can get a, I don't think it ain't no real killers in there, but there's some armed robbers. It's like I said, everybody's beating everybody, but I don't think it's because teams are like forcing, bringing the greatness out in each other. Like, I don't really feel like, I just think it's like bad, decent teams beating decent teams. Like, I watched a good amount of that Dortmund Newcastle game today. That wasn't really good football. That was just an average team beating another above average team. And with Milan's performance, it's not like Milan brought the best out of PSG. PSG just did what they wanted to them. I'm just saying, like, I'm not really, for them to be 4 quality teams, I'm not really. It's not as much, but at the same time, there's still a little variety. It's the spice of life, and we don't know who's going to make it out of the group. So I'm at least interested, mostly in that group.
Quick question for you guys: have you noticed a noticeable difference in the way games are played now that there's no away goal?
Yes.
Do you think that added more or less intrigue to matchups?
I'll probably know more. I'd probably retouch that more knockout rounds.
Yeah, because you haven't participated in the last couple of years. That makes sense.
So yeah, likewise for you. Just a question, but it's cool. It's cool. I can't okay. You want what's the thing? Pick it. Are you a Madrid fan right now? Because I'm just saying, like you want to flip flop. Like you in one comment, you want to be an Arsenal fan,
Read
which
your
you
text
have
messages. I was asking X about his club. Okay.
Okay. That's what I'm saying.
I asked X about his club.
Okay. I know
Let
you
me
went
look
upstairs
at-
and you went upstairs and you had a choice of 2 different jackets you could have put on, and you chose that one. So I'm just
The biggest match of the season is this weekend until it's the next biggest match of the weekend this season.
For some of us.
Well,
Just another game.
some people,
Just another game. Just another game. When you're champs, just another game.
some people's top of the table, and some people aren't. I
By
understand.
point, good for you. Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Match
9
day 8.
points.
Apparently, my bad. Match day 8 matters in La Liga, but not in the Prem. Apparently, so that's cool.
365, 24/7.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you're wearing gray? Is that for Ange?
No.
Big Ange? Is that for your
No.
boy Hoiberg, who's going to
my
Juve?
gray is I'm moving next week, and my stuff is boxed up.
Well, thank you for that.
Better. The only thing I have Barca free is I do have a Gavi jersey that's laying around here somewhere.
He plays for the team.
He dominates.
He plays for the team. At least, he gets on the pitch 70% of the time. Can't say that like his fellow teenager
90%
friend.
of the time. 90% of the time.
Oh, my bad. I forgot.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, he could be like a French player and just not playing his position that they paid $100 million for him.
Oh, well, you haven't seen Camavinga lately then, have you?
Trust me. Like
It's
Madrid
your
games are when I take my best
take
naps
naps.
in Madrid games.
Charles, what haven't you liked so far in the Champions League? Just a group of I don't think the group of death is a pillow fight, but Barcelona was in a group of death, and one would say that you guys weren't as strong as you should have been at the time. I mean, anybody that loses to United in the two
difference
legs.
in that is what I'm saying is like Milan played well, Bayern played well in last year's group. I don't feel like any of those teams, like there was still a tier, there was still like teams playing well. Like who out of those 4 teams is actually would you say is playing well? PSG played well today, but they're not playing well. Like I mean
they're a group of death because they're 4 of the more.
That's what I'm saying. It's a group of death. I'm just saying like they're not pushing each other to me though. They're not pushing each other to be like great. Like it's not like
they're
great.
Just the closest and quote unquote talent level, but it's just they're not. If we would have picked before the tournament, who do you think is going to win this? None of those teams would have been in our top 5, if that. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like said, possibly top 10.
Like I said earlier, I think I forget PSG is a club until Tuesdays. I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot Lucho's their coach. I forgot they got.
See, that's what I'm saying, man. I hear you, and that's kind of why I'm like, but we do have to put a little respect on Lucho's name a little bit, though. That's all I'm saying.
Lucho's it, and we know we love Lucho, but they're not a serious club, so I'm not going to treat them like they're a serious club.
I agree. I hear you. I was never concerned when Zidane had to go against them. Never concerned. We run triangles all over the dudes. I hear you. I'm going to say something just to spark the conversation. What I don't like, I am sticking with this group of death for a moment. Milan, fellas, 240 minutes. We can't get a goal. We can't get a goal. Y'all are second right now in Serie A. Like, what are we doing? The layout, like, what's going on? He ain't been sharp this year. I'm gonna just keep it honest. He ain't been as sharp.
I don't know. I feel like he doesn't. Every time he gets the ball, he's so far up the pitch. Like he's back past midfield every time he gets the ball, and he's having to run it 3 and 4 or 5 people. Like I don't know if they need to. Like I also don't think Giroud's up to snuff anymore. I think they might have to rejig that. But I mean he's. I'm not gonna. I don't want to shit on the Americans, but it's a lot of Americans stinking up this group. Just to keep it a bean. And like he doesn't, you talking about Leal slacking, but I'm saying, but he's up there with Christian Pulisic and Olivier Giroud. Like I'm just saying, like he's this not the strong. It's a good front three and like name recognition, but like in actual like footballing talent, are they really that good? Like I'm not even trying to hate. I'm not even trying to be funny about it. It's just, are they really that good? Like the player Milan needed some of the players that Inter signed. Like if they had Marcus Thuram or somebody like that, like those are the type of dudes that they needed on their squad, and they just don't have them. Like I'm not sitting there trying to knock Musa even in this conversation, but like if AC Milan had been able to get like Skinner off Inter or like somebody like that, like or even Fabian Ruiz, like just those type of players that they need some more players that they're just I almost feel like they did too much of as much as they bought like these ancillary players, like they didn't really buy anybody that was going to like change like the idea or the way they played. I feel like they're just trying to like damn near run out the same formula, the same playing patterns, the same like everything they're running out that they ran out last year. And everybody's better. Inter's better, and some of the best teams now are kind of settled. And I still think they'll get out the group.
Wait, what? Really? Let's unpack that, if you don't mind. That is a super hot take, good sir. 0 points right now.
Haven't scored yet. Actually,
can we get a goal? I mean, now their goal differential is only for today. Nice three. Everything's been 2 points. You think Dortmund's going to still finish last? I told you that Dortmund going to find a way to get.
They're not good. They are not good.
But they find a way to, dude. They haven't lost in the Bundesliga yet, and they out here back in second place. And which
scrappy.
Let me just say this: you could agree that
today.
St. James Park is the hardest place to play in this group, though, in my opinion.
Yeah, especially like today when it's a wet field out there, it's raining like that. But I mean, at the same time, like I think I don't know, X, if you watched those last 20 minutes, like most of us did, like Newcastle should have scored. They easily could have tied that game up. They hit the, you know what I'm saying? They hit the post twice. Like I gotta
like, Callum, I don't know how Callum Wilson doesn't score.
Yeah.
At least
so it's like, you know what I'm saying? So like if
he's a quality
goes,
player too.
Yeah, if that just go, one of those plays, that's the beauty of soccer. But if it goes one way or the other, like they could easily be, split that point.
Somebody told me that. Don't tell me how many times they hit the post from last year. Good sir.
That matters.
Okay. All right.
It's indicative of the game. If you hit the post 4 or 5 times, it doesn't, like, you can't. That's different than we got 0 shots on goal. Like that has to be taken into account.
That's a great segue into the next question. Charles was giving us his team. X, is there any team in the top 2 right now that will make it to the round of 16 in the table?
That's not in the top 2.
Right.
Oh, let me pull up the table real quick.
And Charles, we'll make sure we come back to you because we're going to get you quoted, brother. Making sure that you say what you're saying.
I don't want to say this.
I know where you're going.
But Manchester United, probably, possibly.
They're getting waxed in Turkey.
But see, that's the thing. I thought Turkey would perform better.
They did. I don't. When you concede to a better team in like the last 15 minutes, I still kind of like.
But let's be honest. But they dominated that game, right? They had Bayern. They had Bayern
yes,
on the road,
and that's why I think
they just couldn't.
That's why I think they'll run United, because I don't think United's got the mental fortitude that Bayern has.
But the thing is, see, the thing about Manchester United, right? And this is what frustrates me. They're not good at holding the ball, keeping possession, but their weakness tends to play into their strength, which is hitting you on the counter, right? So those Turkish dudes could be dominating possession 60-40. All it takes is 1 or 2 counter attacks, and all of a sudden, fucking, somebody's putting one in the back of the net, and we're like, how the fuck does Manchester United keep doing it, right? So that's the thing, is Manchester United doesn't have to have the ball in order to strike. So that's why I'm like, they got a puncher's chance. And if the Turkish dudes aren't going to finish their good opportunities, and then just leaving the door wide open for United. And I hate United because they fucking stink, but
they're hard
on
watch.
The break, that's what they do.
They're a hard watch.
I mean, I do want to note that they already played once, and the Turkish team did pretty good against them.
Sure. I hear that.
That's why I'm giving them the edge. Like they played well at Old Trafford, so why wouldn't they play better at home?
The issue is that from a mentality perspective, they have Copenhagen on the back-to-back. So that's their next match. If Bayern, who once again has not lost a group stage match in what is it, 16 straight or some shit? Like it's crazy. That's who Galatasaray has next. There's a chance United's second going into Turkey, and if they have to just get a bye and then playing Munich, who won't play anybody, they said and United's going to host Bayern, bro. They may be trouble here, fam.
Okay.
And the other team is just obviously Newcastle, right? I don't believe in
no, Copenhagen.
No, he's talking about the other third place team.
The third place team that can make it to the round of 16. Yeah. Then I would say Newcastle is neck and neck between those two.
The level of confidence that it took for you to have United to make that point is exactly why I don't believe in them.
I'm just going to my original predictions. They
played well this week. They played well.
No, mind you,
they played well.
I picked Galatasaray to make it out of the group when we made our Champions League prediction.
And he's sitting there talking. Yeah, and he's sitting there talking about, they got Copenhagen on the back-to-back. Like they didn't barely beat Copenhagen.
I hear you, but they didn't concede, and it was, and they also
they
your boy Onana. Oh, now
this is why watching the game matters.
I hear you.
You just watching over.
No. Charles, I actually watched United today. Matter of fact, because I was focused on Arsenal because I wanted to make this point with you. I know that they aren't great. I just said they are a tough watch, but bro, this is exactly what Ten Hag does, though. I hate this shit. He figures out a way to pull out shit out of his ass.
It's a play here. It's a play there. It's not like this great offense. Like they're not doing this off of philosophy.
Just a random counterattack. That's what it is.
And I'm saying they just easily could have given up he could have scored the penalty. I'm just saying it's not like I'm just like if the person who they get the penalty just does his job, it's a whole different conversation. That's all I'm saying. It's one play. That's like to sit here and make these swapping opinion. That's all I'm saying is it's one play and they're split point and Harry Maguire's a fucking pariah again.
There's no way Barcelona ever loses to United at Old Trafford outside of that one effing day last year. But that's the shit that Ten Hag does. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's
fine. You know what I mean? Like y'all are a better team than them. Like 9 times.
They're going to Copenhagen, and why wouldn't Copenhagen, given the game that they just had with them, feel pretty invigorated to play them straight up, play them again? That's all I'm saying.
We'll cover this in a couple weeks. I hear you. I'm hearing you. I'm not. I hear you.
I'm just saying, you're glass half full in it, and you're Copenhagen. You're like, shit, we could have beat them.
Fair.
And now they're coming here. So we really got them now.
So the two English teams. Okay, we'll revisit that. I think we'll figure that out after match day 5 in the group. Very interesting times. But United's back in it. All it took was to get those 3 points. So that's what it is. Tottenham is at the top of the table. Charles's first love and only love. The Tottenham HOTSpurs Football Club, coached by the August Premier League manager of the month and the September EPL manager of the month. And they are still unbeaten because
it'll be October. Still
unbeaten in the Premier League, not unbeaten overall because they're already out of the competition, so which will make things easier for them. How has this happened, Charles? Talk about the worst watch in the Premier League, maybe United out of the big 6 clubs, and the best watch right now is Tottenham. I feel very comfortable saying that.
I mean, you finally got an offensive-minded coach. They just seem happier. I'm sure it's when the manager's not on bullshit and bringing that negativity is as much as I love Conte and Jose, as long as they're not bringing that negativity and making you guys probably work on sitting in a low block all training. I'm sure they seem like they're enjoying themselves. More so that we always talk about I hate going out there and expressing yourself. They seem to have at least some level of freedom. The way I even see Pedro Porro flying around and just all out of position. I think that's just they seem to be playing liberated. I think even the loss of Harry So they got a new manager. They don't have their captain anymore. It's just like all this pressure, all this weight, all this. Is he going to leave? Is he going to stay? Stuff like I think they're liberated, and they got and my boy Matters out there playing his ass off. Sonny playing up front, I think has freed him up to really be a different type of player because he wasn't playing up front when Harry was there. So yeah, man, we're rock and roll football, baby. We here.
X, you have now seen Tottenham night and day over the last 2 seasons, but you always just keep an eye on them as a Arsenal supporter, I'm sure. What have you seen in terms of the biggest difference with Tottenham? And then secondarily, because I already know where Charles thinks, they were 5-1 to get a top 4 spot as of 3 days ago. How do you feel about them right now?
I mean, they're playing much more aesthetically pleasing football. I'm still not convinced they finished top 4 because they can be had defensively. They can. But I think offensively, Maddison has been perfect for them. The offense flows. They're creating solid chances. But they can be had defensively. I just think based on who they've played thus far, they haven't been able to capitalize. But we'll see. But then again, I look around and it's, it's like who can you lock in for the top 4? City, Arsenal, sure. But I think Chelsea's dog shit. We all agree on that. United is dog shit. So you're left with Newcastle. I think Brighton has slightly underperformed. And do you think Aston Villa? So at that point, they probably finished top 4. But I think the rest of the teams, I don't know. The rest of the teams, I can't pencil them in.
The thing that I feel good about that's going to get them in the top 4 is like I think they reached a point where like they're actually going to beat the teams that they're supposed to beat.
Oh,
like
fair.
Sure. And that's the thing. Like they're not going to lose to Fulham or just out of the blue. Like if they do that, everybody do for 1 or 2 of those every year. But we let in like 63 goals last year or some shit like that. Like that's not going to happen this year.
I'm curious how many of those were on set pieces. Because it seemed like you guys would do a good job in a low block, but then you give away the random set piece goal, and then
now we got Big Mick back there. Big Mick be back there handling business now at the center back. So I mean, we got, like I said, we got some good players back there. Now we got Mickey back there. We got Vic. We got our Italian fake Italian out there playing goalkeeper. Like it's a nice little squad, like I said, and I just think we're at a place now where we're not going to lose to Crystal Palace, randomly be down to Crystal Palace 2-0 30 minutes in. I think those days are kind of long gone. So I think just based off of, I mean, hell, it's like anything else in this league, in any sports, it's like if you beat the teams you're supposed to, beat half the teams that you're 50-50 on, hell, you should be top 4.
And look, we saw it all last year, right?
You glossed over Liverpool 2x when you were counting teams. Liverpool's.
Oh, sorry, Liverpool. Sorry, I did forget about them. The teams that we saw, the Spurs team we saw in the second half of games was vastly different than the Spurs team we saw in the first game. What did we say? If they just played the way they played in the second half when they were chasing, they could win a lot of these games. And now they're doing that. They're playing up and down football. It's wide open, and I hate to say it, but they are a fun watch. They are. I hate these motherfuckers, but they're a fun watch.
Mm-hmm. Their pressing, their scheme with their pressing is what I've been most impressed about.
Boys be running. Ange got them boys running.
And
so I heard a stat on that. So the last, I think, where was Ange at Celtic, right?
Yeah.
Before they got there, Celtic ranked last in the league in terms of most distance run. The 2 years after he took over, they ranked first. You know what I'm saying? So that's his style of play. It's like, yo, y'all motherfuckers are going to run and you're going to put the effort in. And I think eventually after some transfer windows, once he has a squad depth to where he can take some of those players off at 60 minutes after they've given their all, I think that I think they'll be much.
Both goals the other day came off of them stealing out, them trying to play the other team trying to play it out the back and them stealing it and turning it around, scoring real quick. So yeah, that pressure. And
the equalizer against Arsenal. You got to be in the spot in order to capitalize on it. Jorginho makes a mistake. Like that's the thing with Tottenham. You can't make mistakes around them now because in my opinion, they have the top 3 and 4 midfielder, not only in England but in the world right now. It matters, and top 3 Top 3 striker right now. In form.
I think getting Richarlison out the way, because I do feel like
Jesus Christ,
you can kind of hide him on the left wing. I really like you can neutralize wingers. That's one thing when we were talking about Leao. I do think you can neutralize wingers a little bit more, just because you can load up on them. But like when they do turn it over, they get it to Sonny or Matters has it like relatively quickly. Like they know where they're going with that ball. Like as soon as they turned it over, it was bink bink goal. Like it's they're real quick with it now. So they can definitely tell like they're drilled on like what we doing when we turn this ball over, because they're getting straight to it.
Do you think they'd be better with Harry? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, X. Go ahead first. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, so one thing that somebody pointed out is like the way teams are playing defense now is similar, is that they load up in the middle and they kind of force you out to the wings. And then the Charles point, right? The main defender, he's gonna play you to the baseline, and then they're gonna have the defender shadowing you, cutting off the inside, right? And just forcing you to throw some bullshit crossing. But I think the Spurs are one of the rare teams that they can slice you apart in the middle. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what makes them so dangerous. And if they ever upgrade over Richarlison, I don't know, man. Scary hours. And I hate to say that, but scary hours.
Dumpster truck juice. Awful. He's awful.
He's bad. He's so bad. I love when he has the ball, right? Because he's not going to do anything with it. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie. One of my favorite things. It's sad, but his general like being surprised when he kicks it into the 40th row. Like the fact that it's like, bro, how are you? Because I'm not surprised in the slightest, my guy.
Like I agree, and I'm not trying to bring it to Arsenal at all, but I want to make the comparison of the difference between like, yo, how do you value this dude? And I don't get it. On Richarlison's best day, he's still not the footballer that Gabriel Jesus is. On his best day as a footballer. I'm talking, bro, when the ball is at your feet and are you able to create, you're able to make shit happen. Like what does Richie do better than Gabby Jesus?
You brought it to Arsenal to ask a question.
But I'm talking about for Brazil, Charles. I'm talking about it for Brazil. Because Gabby wouldn't start. That's my point. I don't fucking understand it, but Richarlison does play for Brazil.
But the whole Brazilian lineup is weird. The whole Brazilian lineup is weird. It's not has nothing to do. I think,
which is why when they get Ancelotti, that's going to be fucking curtains.
But that's the thing. They have a coach that's in no man's land, right? You don't necessarily have the authority and the equity to tell Casemiro, to tell Neymar, hey, you guys are going to the bench. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you also don't want to make any sort of abrupt changes until the next man gets there. So like you got old players that are still going to play. Now, when a new coach comes in, he'll have the authority to be like, all right, Neymar, sit down.
Yeah, one person I'm happy about Neymar getting hurt was Don Carlo, for sure.
A blessing in disguise, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, for Ancelotti? But my God, yes. Yeah.
But like Gabriel, and this is not Arsenal report, but our Gabriel is better than Casemiro is at this point, right? Casemiro should not be starting over him under any circumstance. That's probably going to change with the new coach, right? Because Casemiro just came on in.
I mean, it depends how they want to play, because they still got, where you put Marquinhos at. So, like.
Fair.
I didn't want to bring it to Arsenal, but it was just.
What I'm saying, it depends how they play at the back, because like I said, Militao's got a torn ACL too, so ain't no telling he might not be out there next year either.
Like Vinny needs to get healthy.
I'm just saying, like, Militao's not going to be there for the Copa. Neymar's not going to be there for the Copa.
Yeah. Militao may be back, maybe.
But they're not going to be like fully fit to like play the whole game type thing. So,
which is why Gabriel is going to have to be needed for sure in the back.
Yeah. There's no guarantee Richie even makes that team.
That's what you see where I'm coming at now, though. Is just like
Vitor might take his spot.
100%. And then yeah, man. So I would love to see. That's another thing. I'd love to see Benny Jr. like really be able to do his thing on the left, and that's part of it is that that's been hampered. Carlos was going to start Vinny regardless, in my opinion. Had Neymar been there,
you're gonna start him and Rodrigo regardless. Yeah.
Exactly. He gonna start Rodrigo. So and then in the middle will be Gabby and then Martinelli off the bit. Like, bro, they are such quality. They have such quality, and they've been on their bullshit. I'll just leave it at that.
Still getting smacked by Argentina, but
Argentina hasn't lost.
The best team in the world.
They have 38 straight matches. It's crazy.
Well, no, they lost. No, it's like 38 out of 39 because remember they lost to the Saudis.
Yes. All right, let's get to the front part of the pod. Start, bench, cut in current form. Current form. Jamal, because he's on, you know what? He's on first name now. I think we just know who Jamal is now. Jamal, Jude, Madison. Start, bench, cut.
Easy.
Carry on, sir.
Start Jude, bench Matters, cut Jamal.
Really?
Yeah, easy.
Current form.
Jamal's good. Jamal's fire, but he's not playing as well as, and he played well. He played really well the other day, but I still think he's not he's not at like grown man level of like what Matters is doing and what Jude's kind of doing out there right now.
So here's the thing about Jude. He's putting up a lot of goals. A lot of them have sort of been right place at the right time. You know what I'm saying? I would say probably half of them. He just, look, the ball made the right bounce. He happened to be in front of the net. He put it home. So because of that, I was going to say Madison 1, Jude 2nd, Jamal 3rd.
I love it when other people perpetuate my bullshit for me. I love it. I didn't want to say it. So
X, let's make sure I get that repeated. Can you repeat that for us again?
Madison 1st, Jude 2nd, Jamal 3rd.
Midfield play. I'm good with those three, actually. Midfield play, I'm good at those three. And personally, I'm taking any of the international break shit out. But can you imagine if Madison and Jude actually get to play in the midfield for England? Like together? And do it like if they actually focus on that shit, man. Yeah, I actually agree with X's list for midfield play. Player, because that's why I asked about midfield. I think Jude is the most informed all-around player in the world right now. But different from midfield. And what I mean by that is there are a couple times where I've seen Jude, he tends to like shift towards Vinny's way, but he's not making the natural passes that I would like to see from him so that Rodrigo's in a better position or been able to, how should I say, making sure everybody's, but Carlos is not asking him that right now. Don Carlos is not asking him that because he is asking him to make sure that he's in the right place at the right time right now, which is what Ronaldo used to do. I'm not saying he's in the same situation. You know what I'm saying?
Look, Jude has been clutch, but there's a reason why he's had to be so clutch so often.
Yeah.
It's because a lot of times late in these games, they're down.
Yeah,
or
he's scoring a lot of goals, and it's a lot of other people not scoring goals. But that's what I'm saying. Like that's kind of what I'm getting at. There's a lot of people not scoring goals. That's why he's having to score goals.
No, true. But Madison's doing both, right? He's putting people in a position to score, and he's scoring. He's being opportunistic with it too. So that's why I have to put him first.
I'm gonna give Jude his props. I'm not gonna say he's the most informed player. I think I don't like to look at it like that. I think there's like a certain, like it's like levels, and there's certain people in that bracket. Just because I mean Mbappe took 4 dribbles and ended that whole game. Like literally in 7 seconds he got the ball today and ended the game. So I can't sit there and say like while he's still like literally while there's still a nuclear weapon out there, it's hard for me to be like there's a dude better than that, because he literally did play like shit for 37 minutes and then just dropped his shoulders and scored.
Which reminds you of the World Cup final too, by the way. Very similarly.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, like, yeah, I'm not, like I said, I forget that he even exists sometimes because I think that they're not a real club. So
hear that. All right, let's go to our next one. Not a real club. That's phenomenal. I love it. Oh man. Salah, Sonny, and his former teammate Harry Kane.
Get another easy one.
Please.
So the way it's typed, Salah, Sonny, and Kane. Kane's still acclimating, and I still think he's like not really understanding what he. If you watch that, I watched the game. He's playing a 10. He's not playing a striker. He's still trying to play a 10. That's why he was the player dropping deep, and that's why Galatasaray was kicking the ass for a while because every time on the counter, Harry Kane was trailing into the plays on the counter because he was the one that was starting the counter. And that's why Sane got his goal and everything else. But like Harry was like the fourth or fifth person down every time because he's so busy playing the 10. So he's still learning it. And I know they want him to literally just be in Lewandowski role, which is stay at the 9, stay central, and just score goals. So I think he's still trying to figure out where they need him at because like at the same time, he's playing the space that he's taking up is the same space that Jamal's trying to take up. So they got to figure out what they're doing there. But so I'd put him third just because he's the one acclimating, and the other guys know who they are and know what they're doing. The team's built around them.
Go ahead, X.
Bayern's not still built. Bayern is working towards being built around Harry Kane, but it's not built around Harry Kane. Tottenham's built around what Sonny's doing, and Liverpool's built around what Salah does.
Honestly, I had it the same. Because the thing is that I've watched every Bayern Munich match, right? He's bailed them out. But I think that team's issues start with defense.
Yes.
And I think that's part of why he's dropping so deep is because they struggle to play from the back. So he's having to drop in deeper to kind of help bring the ball up. But I think when he's being used to his full potential, then he'll take off. So I don't want to say that he's playing poorly because he's not.
No, not at all.
Yeah, Sonny's balling. Sonny's doing what he does, and then Salah, I mean, it's just fucking Salah. Like he looks like, So this was probably the toughest one, but I would probably agree the way it was typed. Salah, then Sonny, then Kane.
And none of these are like they're not in bad form. In fact, the reason why I wanted it to be harder because I think they're actually the three most informed and they're in their roles. And Harry, but Harry is like Tuchel doesn't want Harry to play the 10. It's just that Harry's so used to getting like tracking back and wanting to be playmaker, and that he's just not comfortable fully in that. I will say Southgate has made him do that more than Tuchel has. Like Harry's been more the beneficiary of, but I also think
you don't have to do that if you have those
amazing midfielders.
If you have an actual team around you.
Yeah. All right, so Charles, I'm gonna put an ML here. Is there a better CDM in the world right now than Declan Rice? I want to see if you can put your bias aside and just accept what your eyes are telling you.
I mean, Rodri's been suspended and stuff, so I can't really say that at the moment. Frankie been hurt. Sure.
All right,
but see, I don't like the sauce you put on that shirt. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think he's a better soccer. You don't think he's a better player than Rodri. You don't think he's a better player than Frankie de Jong. You don't believe that. Like,
no.
He's not. He doesn't have he hasn't been doing this long enough to be better than either one of them. And he's the same age as he's like a year younger than Frankie. I'm not he's playing well. I'm not hating on him. I give credit where credit is due. Y'all just when y'all want to reach it. Is he the best player in the world? No. Is he the best player in the world right now?
But I do remember. I remember the jokes when we gave €100.
It's the money. My problem wasn't the player; it was the money.
But even now, can you say that the money has been more than worth it? That he's more than paying like $100 million midfield now, and especially right. We laughed at the money, but then Caicedo went for like what 115.
And I don't think CDM should be going for 150 million. That's just me. But
for us, yes,
I'm not mad at it. Let's talk about that 70 million you spent on that bench player.
Now you brought the team into it. We asked you about the player. You go.
Oh, my bad.
I don't know why he had to go so. I don't know why he had to go
so wild.
We're keeping things cordial.
I didn't say a thing. I literally
had to sit through ML. We was talking about a whole other team. ML was like, I don't want to make this about Arsenal. Then we talk about Arsenal, and I bring up another player.
I brought up the players. I brought up the players too. I was talking about Brazil. I was bringing up players that actually get paid by the club. I mean, I was
going to introduce it by saying, would you put Rice into that trio of midfielders that we discussed? But then I realized that they do different things. So
yeah, like I said, I still don't think he's better than Rodri. I'm not gonna sit here and say he's better than Rodri.
He's not. But you know what? You've come along though, because I was texting X in March and say, I'm gonna tell these dudes. I'm like, I literally said before the show, I'd be like, I have literally articles and like statistics to Rodri being the best CDM. And then the next 90 days, he proved it.
I would honestly say this though, that the CDM position is one of the weakest positions in the sport.
I totally disagree with you, Charles.
I
FDJ and Rodri are world-class players.
First off, and FDJ is not even really essential a CDM. I'm just saying, who's the fifth best CDM? I think CDM and right back are the two weakest positions in all of the sport. The fifth best player in both those positions is not. We don't really think is particularly good.
I don't rate. Here's the deal. This is where X and I.
Casemiro is probably the fifth best one in the world.
Nah, Partey's better than Casemiro, but we have 2 of the 5 easily. Now
I don't see it, but okay.
This is where X and I disagreed in terms of, and I think actually it's going to be proven out. He really wanted Caicedo from the athletic perspective, but Arsenal needed a grown up in the room, a true professional for what was needed for the campaign. That's why I always preferred Rice. But I hear what you're saying, because me and you have actually watched Caicedo and been like, now this nigga, he ain't what everybody cracked him out to be. This ain't Arsenal. All right, bro.
Niggas agree with you. You still fucking expound for 20 minutes about Arsenal. Bro, like, we agree. I'm agreeing with you. And you still got to get these points off. Like,
it's because of Rodri. I actually went back and talked about Rodri first. You need to apologize. You need to apologize for your Rodri slander. Your Rodri slander has been some bullshit. No, your Rodri slander has been some bullshit.
He's Spanish, and I admitted that he was good.
It took you a while. It took you
Nations
months.
League. Took 4 months. Nations League title to come around.
All right.
And he's still the second best Spanish midfielder in the world, because Gavi been out here dropping fucking nukes for a year and a half now.
You think Gavi's better than Rodri?
I think Gavi's more I think Gavi's had a better year and a half than Rodri. Yes, I think Gavi day game in, game out is one of the 3 best players on every field. World Cup, Nations League, wherever you put him.
Rodri's the same, if not more.
Rodri played center back in the World Cup. I'm never gonna let that down.
The reason why you also lost to who? Who's you lose to in the World Cup?
Morocco.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we had 2. So never mind. Because he was playing out of position, that's why they lost to Morocco. Okay.
I think it's because your team is too talented to lose to effing Morocco. Like what are we doing?
We're playing Hoselu.
Okay, so you about to hold me out with Ferran Torres. You ain't slick, nigga. I heard that shit. Move on. You ain't slick. Pep is in a different realm. Let's rank these 5 managers on current form. Ancelotti, Klopp, Ange, Postecoglou, Xavi, Tuchel.
Taskmaster's last.
Is he?
Tuchel is last. He's not a good coach.
You're not.
I don't think he's a good coach.
Okay. All right. So you go 5. Who's 4?
Javi.
Really?
He's still
Ancelotti 4.
Yeah, he's still learning.
Nah.
Javi's still trying to figure some things out. I think that him and Ange are like, I think they have an idea of what what they would like to do, and I don't think they're there yet. Like, so I think they still got room to go. I think Xavi will be a better coach in 5-6 years. And I think next year is when Tottenham's gonna be fire. And then I'll take Don Carlo first and then Klopp second.
Ange third.
Yeah. Yeah, do it longer for me to like really feel like all the way confident. Like at the end of the day, Liverpool had that ridiculous unbeaten streak. They're going to be here at the end, and you know what Don Carlo's going to do. He literally got countries chasing after him. So,
I confused Ancelotti and Pochettino. My bad.
Oh yeah. Please, never.
Under this list.
No, that's why I was going away, because I'm like, you got it. You don't have.
Oh yeah.
You know who's better?
That makes sense.
You know who's better than Pochettino over there? Our boy in Villa. Unai Emery's a better manager than Pochettino.
Facts.
Our boy Unai Emery's a better manager than Pochettino. I just want to put that out there. And that ain't no Spurs hate, bro. Look at Villa's tough. I'm waiting till January to have some conversations.
My hate on Tuchel is Tuchel's like the 6th best like German manager.
Shout out to Augustman. Hear you.
Shout out to Jurgi Low.
World Cup champion. I hear you. X.
And Hansi Flick.
Now that you saw the 5, so Don Carlo Ancelotti, Madrid. Who's your list?
Ancelotti, Klopp, Xavi, Ange, Tuchel.
Why Xavi over Ange?
I'll speak more towards the Ange. I think that he's a benefit of his first. He's a likable guy, right? That shit he did for the disabled kid at the press conference, all the points. Then it's also like when you're going from fucking Antonio Conte ball to whatever Ange is producing. I mean, he's gonna look like the fucking savior. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's smart, right? The strength of that team is with Son, is with Madison. He's prioritizing that. But I think when they play against the elite teams and the better teams in the league, like we should have beat them, right? If Declan plays that whole game, we beat Tottenham. There's no doubt in my mind about that. They're gonna lose to the elite team. So now the question is, between him and Xavi, do they have the players that they want to play their scheme? I'm not probably not. But I think Ange is leaving them a little bit too exposed. They just haven't run into the team that's really exposed them yet, but that's coming. And I think some of the hype around them is going to come down just a bit. Again, I think they're going to be really good next year. I already said that before. But I think that, but then I give credit to him, right? I think he's trying to instill his way of playing. And he understands he's not contending for the Prem this year, but he's trying to establish his way of playing, even if the roster doesn't necessarily fit. So you understand that's probably going to cost him. But I think so for this year. But I think next year, man, if they invest, then
the one thing to piggyback on that is I feel like every team and pretty much all the good teams in the world are really, really good going forward. I feel like all of them had to make that adjustment to get better defensively, like as like the second phase. I think they all got good at going forward, and then we got to add a defender, we got to add a CDM. But I think he's got them going in the right direction because they're at least attacking now. So like that whole they got to be more secure at the back. I feel like we said that about Liverpool, about Arsenal a couple years ago, about Barca. All the teams that we love are good going forward. I just think that year 2 and 3 is getting the rest of that shit going. Year 1 is, can we get some goals? Year 2 is, can we stop goals?
But also the way in which you get goals, right? Some of them are you just going to fucking just go balls out, or are you going to horseshoe for a while, break down low blocks, and create good opportunities and just be solid? You know what I'm saying? So I think it's the way that they do that. But I think right now he's just like, fuck it. He's going balls to the walls, right? Because at this point, they're not going to fire him this year, right? Especially not after all the vibes. I think he's pretty secure in his job, and I think they would be smart to kind of invest in his vision. So I think he's like, oh, fuck it, I'm going to play my brand of football.
And they still got that 120 burning a hole in their pocket.
Yeah.
My bad, 80. They spent 40 on Brendan Johnson.
Which, is he hurt?
No, he was in the squad the other day.
Oh, that's right, he did come on against us.
He started.
Yeah, I'm saying he was in the squad the other day. I don't think he came on.
I was talking about X, like he's saying, like, never mind, we good. That was a good exercise. I'll make sure we'll throw in some other folks throughout the year, but I thought that was good. Xavi will be able to see him this week. Klopp I'm very interested to see if they will take Europa seriously when they get to the round of 32 after that. They'll actually be able to just go straight to the round of 16 because Liverpool gonna win their group. But that'll be fun because Liverpool, I still think, has some holes in the back. We're gonna see that once the matches intensify here pretty soon. All right, the last segment of the night as we are here. Excited. Charles, you texted me a couple weeks ago. You asked me what I'm doing this weekend. It's the biggest soccer weekend of the year. I think that's fair to say thus far in terms of the bigger matches, if you will. United City at Old Trafford. Charles, for a cross segment, give us a prediction on the first match, brother.
3-2 City. Onana fucks up something.
3-1 City for me.
Foden was rested today. Doku didn't. Interesting times.
This will be Rodri's first game back, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. In the
3-1,
league.
yeah, 3-1 City.
At OT. 2-2 draw is what I'm hoping for. I think it'll be 2-1 City. 2-2 draw would be phenomenal. For both of our teams, Charles. Because y'all have already handled it in terms of Tottenham. So
Oh man, it doesn't matter. Man, this whole anyway. I'm not gonna blow
no.
the season's over, dude. I just don't understand. The shit doesn't matter.
Napoli, Milan. Napoli, Milan.
City's best player is hurt, and they're fine. Like when KDB comes back, this shit is like I've had to like concede this when I've been in my Tottenham good vibes. Jack Grealish barely plays right now, and Kevin De Bruyne is hurt. They're gonna get better in like the second half of the season. They're gonna do what they always do. It's they're just bullshit right now. They're they're playing Julian Alvarez as a midfielder. They're bullshit.
I've told you though who I actually
play Gvardiol as a left back. They're bullshit. They're not even playing for real.
I hear you.
They're experimenting. They're bored.
That's cool. Let them chill, and that shit happens sometimes. You know who pounces when MFers get bored? Liverpool, man. They're built. But Liverpool is Liverpool, bro. You and I'm just telling you, just be careful with that.
That should happen one time.
I hear that. I hear that. And it was the COVID year. I hear you. But also, City ain't had that taste of that Champions League before. You know what I'm saying? Now that they got that taste. We'll see.
Wait till at the track meet when they do the bell and that Kenyan come from the back.
There's a reason why nobody's won 4 in a row, bro. I'll just leave it at that. All right.
Okay. The City ain't do it yet.
Hopefully they still stand. We'll see. Napoli, Milan. X's second favorite squad. Charles and I checked when Charles and I were on the pod 2 weeks ago, and I said, "Hey, I was just mesmerized by KK, even in a miss. It was a 25-yard, like this crazy dart, and I'm like, oh my god, that like side netted, but it had incredible power. And yes, I sure did bet on Georgia the next 2 matches in the Euro and the Euro qualifying because they were they were playing shitty teams, but KK was crazy. X Napoli, Milan.
Who won Napoli?
Mm-hmm. Charles' Milan figure out a way to stay
2-1 Milan
on the road at Naples.
They gotta score some goals this week at some point.
This will
I don't think Napoli's as good this year, obviously. So I think they can be had. I don't think this is last year's team. I'd feel differently, but
we will table a Oshman discussion in December. I don't like the vibes going on with him. I'll just leave it at that. We will have a 1-1 draw in Milan, Napoli. We'll mark that down. Inter Roma, Mourinho, the red card last match, talking to the bitch. Dude is just so entertaining. Like, I love him so much. Like, he gives us such great things. It's almost the equivalent of like Mike McDaniel's craziness. His like nerdiness is the equivalent of Mourinho's brashness of not giving a fuck about anybody else except for his squad. I have another 1-1 draw here at the San Siro.
2-1 Inter. Lukaku scores the game winner.
Oh my gosh. Low key hooping.
We don't have a fucking aneurysm on the sideline.
Low key hooping. Lukaku, boy.
I'm gonna go 3-1 Milan. Lautaro brace.
Wait, 3-1 who?
Enter.
Enter.
My fault.
You good. You're right.
Yeah. Lautaro with the brace. Lukaku might score, but Lautaro's gonna get a brace.
El Clasico. First of minimum, my guess is going to be 4 of them this year. Barcelona at the Camp Nou against Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid is the healthier of the two squads. And here I am. I have picked 3 out of 4 draws. I'd like to see 4, but I think we will have a 2-2 draw at the camp on Saturday.
2-1 Barca.
Give me the goal scorers, X, while we're there. I'll give you mine. Pause.
Yamine. Gabby.
Against Alaba. Okay, go ahead, Charles. And Fran Garcia out there, yeah, I can see definitely
I want to say I'm leaning 2-2, but I don't really pick draws for Barca, so I'm going to say 2-1.
You got 2-1, Barca? Yeah, I got 2-2.
Yeah. Okay. Farron going to score, and somebody out of the blue like Christensen on a set piece.
Those are actually my 2. I think Farron and Christensen are going to score. And I think Vinny Jr. scores and Jude does not score, actually. I think Vinny
scores 1 because we're going to start Cancelo instead of putting Big Ron out there on the right, and he going to tear Cancelo ass up.
Yes. We will start Vinny will score, and Valverde will score.
Yeah. But if I had a second goal, I would have picked Valverde.
You just need that little special something, and he has the best options for that. So, all right, we'll make sure it's great. Closing thoughts, X. It is great to have you on again, brother. Once again, we greatly appreciate you. You start us out with closing thoughts.
Up the Arsenal, man. That's it.
Say less.
I'll be there tomorrow. I'm about to buy my ticket for Tottenham Crystal Palace, so I'm gonna give me one of those prime rib sliders.
Hey man,
you know what I'm saying?
Hey, White Hart
those,
Lane. Here.
Give me one of those coffees. Those hot chocolates that Charles got last time. So, and then Saturday I'll be in the building at Emirates, 3 rows up behind the net, cheering on my beloved Arsenal. So it'll be a good weekend.
Excited for you, brother. Make sure you get a lot of great pictures. Enjoy all that, brother. Make sure you're gonna have to make sure you get to know all the chants, bro, and the songs. That's important.
Look, I'm just there to get drunk, you know what I'm saying, and just entertain my shorty enough to where she doesn't actually.
Even the racist chants. Learn those too.
Relax. When you talk about the dudes that actually started, first time we started down, that chill. Learn North London have forever, brother. I want to see if you get goosebumps. I'm excited for you to be a part of that, bro. So there you go. Like we can't even talk about it. Go ahead, Charles. Charles, your lasting thought, please.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's Barcelona's world. You're just living in it.
Yes. Okay, fine. I guess this weekend we are. If Real wins this weekend, I am ready to say they will win La Liga. And I'm ready to say they will win more trophies than Barca just because that type of momentum. If you go get a win in the camp.
We lost the first one last year. So, yeah.
Yeah, but you're not healthy. And we're not, and my team
and that's what I'm saying. And I can totally see us losing the first one because we weren't healthy last year at this time. So
there's a fucking Clasico every other week, bro.
You know there's not. Y'all need to chill on that. There is not.
4 of them, man.
There's 4.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
But it takes it to get to the semis and also get to this, bro. It's not.
Gotta work your way there.
Yeah. Takes a while.
So, nobody said that when Liverpool was playing Man City in every damn the cup final of everything.
At all. At all.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I enjoy watching it. I mean, that's one of the few times that I watch La Liga, unless Real or Barca's playing somebody. But
So it can be a good little match. I'm not expecting too much because it's like hard for me to judge it because we're not playing with our full squad. Like I would love to see our like even like my Jude assessment is like I would like to see. Oh, I'm not trying to even. This ain't got nothing to do with like hot knocks on. It's just I want like my real horses out there. Like if he dominates them, then I'm like okay, now you can come to me and talk to me. But it's hard for me. Like I'm sure he might score a goal, but he might be getting by Romero or fucking Fermin Lopez, and I'm like, he's better than them.
Feel that? Yeah, they. If Madrid gonna clip one, they're gonna clip one. So that's where my lasting thought. Make sure everybody enjoys the football. X, we appreciate you having on. Charles, as always, brother. It's good to be able to talk football. Thanks for make sure that you click the like and subscribe button for everything Multiplicity Media, and make sure that you enjoy the best weekend of football in the year. We are out.